Welcome at the Masters of the Code channel. In my next video, I want to show you today how to use Nginx reverse proxy combined with more advanced filtering using Lua scripts to filter requests. To filter some applications that are not natively able to provide some more advanced functions. So let's start from the example here. I will log into my virtual DSM. Virtual DSM is the same as actual Synology DSM operating system. And for those of you not familiar with NAS devices, Synology NAS devices, DSM is the operating system on the Synology NAS devices based on Linux. So I have virtual DSM here, which works exactly the same as the base DSM, but lets me check some functions without altering or destroying base operating system. So here you can see that I have already Nginx reverse proxy container started, and here you can see the port, and also we can log into web interface of the DSM. Wrong user. And here I have the photo directory with test1 subdirectory, in which I have some image, and that directory is being shared by PhotoStation application. So we can check it here. It's protected by the password. It's test1234, and I can access it. But the same application let me log in as the user created on the DSM. So for example, I will log out from the DSM and I will log in here with test5 user, which has all proper permissions to view this photo directory. So I'm logged in, and as you can also see, this user has a very simple password. So you can imagine that I want to share that images outside, because here I can log in using my internal LAN network. But you can imagine that I have my NAS device connected to my router, of course behind NAT, but I can redirect port from my router pointing to that service, and I want to share those stuff outside. And here is the issue, that application has no option to separate logging from the LAN network from outside. So I give possibility to logging to my internal accounts from outside, which of course I don't want. So what we can do about it? We can use Nginx reverse proxy to filter that traffic. And to show you that, we will enter the same address, but I will use the port for the Nginx reverse proxy here. And as you can see, we have exactly same content here. So once again, password, and I have access. But let's assume that I want to log in with the same user. And I can't, because those requests is being filtered. So it's more secure that way. So the only way to enter to the folder is by putting password here, which is all I want, of course, in that case. And I can also show you the second case, but I need to relog in to my DSM as administrator. So in that case, we will use FileStation, and I can go to the dn1 directory. Inside it, I have the same image like in the photo test1 subdirectory, and I want to share that directory to the external network, or I can even share it and add permissions so somebody can upload things to my NAS. But first, let's share it so it's available. And here we have the link for using it, and we will secure it with passwords also. And now we can reach it from the LAN network again. Of course, we should put password here, but as you can also see, there is still sign-in option available. Once again, I will log out from my web UI from DSM, and I will log in here. Also with test5 user, which is ordinary user without any administration permissions. And as you can see, I'm logged in and I can see more files, more directories, and I don't want that externally. So from outside, I want people to see just that one folder, and I don't want to give any possibility to even login for other account. So let's get back here to that first link. I will also log in back with my administrator, and okay, so I'm logging as administrator and I can get back to that link. And what we can do is use that Nginx reverse proxy to access that same link. And of course we have password again, and we have access to that file, but we are even not able to just move to the login page because it's being cut off. And also all requests are also filtered in that case. So as you can see, it works like expected. And what we would need to do if I would want to get access from outside, I just need to redirect that 28443 port on my router, and that's it. So now let's get back to the DSM. So once again, I need to log into the admin user, and we will see how it's done. Also, if you are interested in my future videos, remember to subscribe my channel, and also remember to hit bell icon to stay notified about my future videos. Okay, so we have some stuff to do from the web UI. Also, you can do it from the console. And remember that you can use that approach to not just the DSM, the Synology devices. You can use it on any Linux system because it uses Docker, and also it uses the common techniques. It's just a little different on the DSM than on the Linux, because DSM uses some other advanced permissions, but those permissions are similar to Linux extended ACLs. So you can do stuff similarly on Linux. So first I'm going to remove that running container. So we can start from the scratch here. As you can see, it's being removed. And also I'm going to show you the configuration here. I'm using also some additional scripts. You have a link for the whole package under the video, and those scripts are responsible for managing Docker containers. I don't like to use Docker Compose. I don't like the lack of the control there. And also I don't use OpenShift for that small home environment. So I use my own scripts to manage applications containing more containers. So I'm able to update them easily, and also managing like stopping, starting, and recreating the containers. So all those scripts are located in docker_manage directory. You can see it here, and the base script is manage.sh. In that script you have plenty of additional functions, as you can see. So functions that are getting the container name and perform some standard Docker actions. You can of course check those scripts yourself, but at the end you have the main case block, which shows you what you can do. So you can create the containers, you can stop, remove containers, update containers, and by update I mean pulling new images, building new images when they are needed, or when you have some additional Docker files specified here, then stopping, removing, recreating, starting, and cleaning old images after all actions are done. Also you have create rerun option to simplify just stopping recreating containers from images and starting them, and the simple start option also. And those options also uses some additional config files which can consist more than one container. So by container name here we can identify rather whole application than one container. Of course there are situations when whole application just has one container only. And the whole stuff is located in the conf.d directory, and you have it in Debian-Nginx rproxy1 directory. And you can see what's inside. So first we have build.sh, and it's simple build because it uses Docker file also located in the same directory to just build the newest image. So we can move to the Docker file, and here you have the whole Docker file, pretty simple one, but we are building the whole Nginx container. We don't using the one available on the Docker IO, for example, because we want here some additional Lua scripts functionalities, and those functionalities are not available in that pre-built container. So here you can see standard approach, installing all needed packages, and also we are using init script here, and also as you can see we are redirecting Nginx logs to the standard output and standard error. So those logs will be easily accessible during docker logs command. So when you will put docker logs and the name of the container, you will easily get current Nginx logs. Okay, so also you can see the init script. The init script is really simple, but it needs to replace the user UID to the current UID passed by env variable. So as you can see, we are modifying etc group file, and also we are modifying the user, and the user is www-data, which is user used by Nginx, and we are doing that before starting Nginx. I will also tell about that user in a moment, but here you have also clean.sh, which is responsible for cleaning old images after updating. As you can see, you can also modify it a little, and we have the main create.sh file, which is responsible for creating containers, and in that case it's just one container, but you can see the port option and UID and group ID options passed, and that one should match the UID of the user created on DSM for Synology NAS devices and just regular user for the Linux systems. And you of course have other options, and also directory mapped as mounted as etc Nginx. So we will see it in the moment also. And the last file here is the pool.sh. Pretty simple Docker pool Debian latest image, because that image is the base image for building that Nginx image. Okay, so now let's get back here to the DSM. So I pre-configured this Nginx _ rproxy user. So I've also put it in the docker _ tech group, and I gave proper permissions. So I gave no access to all of the resources for that user, and also for the docker _ tech group. So here is the user, and under console you can see in etc passwd that user has that UID, which had been used in the create.sh script. So you should change that UID to match the UID you currently use on your system. And of course the username is not important here. Of course you You could also use the root user here, but it's a better way to use specified user for different tasks. So let's see here, and I've also created config directory under base volume here, and the directory is owned by root user, and also I gave full access to the Docker tech group and denied access for the Nginx proxy, our proxy user. So that directory is directory that holds the whole configurations, whole directories which are mounted by the Docker containers. Of course, I have other ones also pre-configured. I will show you them in the next videos. And for now, we are interested in the Nginx rproxy directory. As you can see here, the Nginx rproxy user is the owner of that directory, and also we are denying access for Docker tech group because we don't want users created for other containers to access that directory also. And we are allowing access for the Nginx rproxy here because we have deny, which is inherited from the upper level directory. And that's it. Inside we have just etc and other directories, and that whole configurations you have also available in the package under video. So let's take a look at that directory right now. Okay, so inside etc Nginx directory you have pretty standard Nginx configuration here, and what is important here, what you should change, is located in conf.d directory, and it's dsm rproxy file. You can also change the name of that file, it doesn't matter here. So in that file we have domain specified and also certificates. So I will show you, you can create some self-signed certificates. Of course, if you want, you can also create properly signed certificates. Even you can use Let's Encrypt service combined with that container. I will also show you in the next videos how to use Let's Encrypt proxy to use it with Nginx combined with Racket Chat. But for now, it's the simplest configuration, so we don't use Let's Encrypt, just self-signed certificates here. We are also denying access by the default to the root directory and forwarding, redirecting proper subdirectories. So as you can see, for the photo station is the photo directory, and for file sharing it's sharing subdirectory, but we are also need to redirect some additional services to be able to use it. So as you can see, it's all redirected here. Of course, you will also need to change the IP address and port, and of course those lines will be different for other applications. You can also check it using, for example, Chrome Web Inspector, so you can dive inside the requests used by different applications and change it to your needs. So that file should be changed, as you can see. I will also show you how to quickly generate self-signed certificates using Open SSL. And the second file you need to second files you need to change are the Lua scripts. So located here. So you have one script for the photo station application. As you can see, pretty simple script. So what it does is getting the request and checking if it's post request, and then we are just creating new hash table params and we are filtering it. So if params is not nil and we have photo login field inside the request, and also username field or user field is not empty, then we are preparing new body, and new body will contain all the original fields, but we are removing content of username and password, and we are creating new body and sending it. So pretty simple. And the second script here is for the file share application. pretty much the same stuff, but we have additional field here, so we are properly handling that other application. So without it, it just won't work properly. So here you have that one. It's the only difference. So you've seen those files, and now we can remove those certificates. We have two files, so one key file and one certificate. So I will remove it, and we can use Open SSL, and we need the key file and we need the certificate file. Of course, the names should match the Nginx configuration. It's important. We have standard options here, so we are creating new X509 requests. We are specifying no des, so it won't be protected by additional password, which is proper option for using it with Nginx. We are putting also really long period, so the certificate will be valid. We are generating new RSA key, pretty long one. You have 4095 bits here, and we are specifying output for the key file and the certificate, and that's it. Of course, you need to put some additional fields or leave it like the standard ones, but this one field is important, which is common name. And here you should put the domain name. So in our example, it's nas.mastersofthecodeclub.com. Codersofthecode.com. Right. And that's it. We have new certificates generated here. Pretty simple. And we have those certificates ready. So what we can do is preparing that new container, and I can even remove the previous image so you can see the whole process. So let's remove the previous image, or I can just use the ID here. So let's remove it, okay? And I will use the update option with the, I should check the name. So I have the name, so I have that proper name of the application here, and I can use it to just prepare the image and also other stuff, create the container and just start it. It's that simple. Okay, so as you can see, it's being built. You can see the latest version of the image file here. Also, we can check that it's running. As you can see, it's running here. And of course, we can check on the same port that it works. But one more thing, maybe I will also show you the logs option here. It's being started, but there is no traffic yet. So for example, we can move to the photo. Of course, we have new certificate and it's self-signed, so I need to accept it, but it works as you can see. And of course, it also generated the log, so you can see the access here. And as you can see, it works as expected. So I think that video was pretty simple, and you can also use that knowledge and those configuration files to filter your own apps, especially apps that don't let you do some stuff by default and you want that additional functionality. Thank you for watching. Bye.